It's June 28th, 2019.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 108. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I am Todd Sturgill. This is Nerd Bourbon at Night.
What that peak look like there?
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
I imagine.
You're getting this fucking after work energy.
That good adrenaline.
Adrenaline, because I was so fucking happy to get the fuck out of there.
It's better than no energy, right?
Most of my day, every day that I work, it's pretty much no energy. I get my energy when I'm off, and I'm like, I don't gotta go to work.
You be dripping that sweet energy. Look like you're in a Gatorade commercial, Todd.
Or like this on my days off here, I'm gonna hook myself to an IV of alcohol.
Oh God, that's not gonna be good news for anybody involved.
For me,
there are a few things that get you amped up. It's a short list, and there's something that I've always wanted to talk about on this podcast because on that short list of things that excite you, there's one thing that I've always wanted to bring up. You have an unnatural love for Brendan Fraser.
This is the lamest way you could. I'm disappointed.
No. You love Brendan Fraser more than Brendan Fraser loves Brendan Fraser.
But can I tell you that I'm disappointed in the way you brought this up?
It had to be. Look, I've been looking for a way to bring this up for weeks. And you
just said fuck it.
And I just said, you know what? Let me fit this square peg in this round hole. You love Brendan Fraser more than you should.
Bro, holy shit. Why? Can I just say a little bit of a segue? I made that joke to somebody at work.
I mean, what is it?
What?
Help me understand. Help me learn you.
I love the Mummy movies. And I just don't know. I enjoy him. What do you want me? What do you want from me? I'll suck his dick.
Who just unpacking this? Like, who loves the Mummy movies? Like, they're good.
I do.
They're fine.
Fuck you, all right?
They're fine. Like, the first one, let me take that back. The first one's fine.
I will fight you right now. I will fucking end you. All right? You bring me into this podcast and you attack me.
Yes, I had to. You knew this was coming. I told you I was going to find a way to bring this up.
No, I've been waiting, and I was hoping it would be in just I don't know, more fashionable way.
No, there's no fashionable way to do this.
Other than
you know what? I'm honoring Brendan Fraser's legacy by not doing this in a fashionable way.
Ooh, I swear, Seth, you hurt me. You hurt my boy.
No, all joking aside, I don't have any strong dislike for Brendan Fraser. It just any malcontempt I could have for him is so outshone by your adoration for him, and just every now and then it peeks through.
So I'm gonna say this: it's just one of those things where I feel like life fucked him at a while back there.
Yeah,
and I'm a fan. And I was very happy, that he's back. He's getting back to work. He's actually, in Doom Patrol, and all that good shit. He's been, doing some movies and whatnot.
I know you're going to be there to see Line of Descent and The Poison Rose.
I don't give it. I don't give a shit. I will support anything he's in. I don't give a fuck. Now,
see his puffy ass face.
Because again, there was a time where it's like. There was pictures of him. He had no life in his eyes. That bitch took everything.
What's the deal? He had an ex-wife who took a lot of his money.
Hardcore alimony, dude.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, I'm reading about this.
I know he did file to get it lowered, and then she's like, he has money hidden.
I'm reading about this. Fraser petitioned the courts for a reduction of his alimony.
Yep.
He was unable to meet the annual obligation of $900,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the ex accused him of hiding financial assets.
Yep. Bitch took him for everything.
So is that what attracts you to him? The fact that he's a tragic real life character? You don't actually think he's an amazing actor?
No.
You just like him as a person. You just feel sorry for him.
I don't know. He's, you know what it is? I feel like he's a more relatable, person.
He's an everyman.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even in his even in his action movies, he's just like a relatable character. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Fuck you, bitch.
I just don't see it. Like, I thought you were joking the first time you said something about him. I literally thought you were joking. Like, you were like, you just completely unironically, just like my boy, honestly, one of my favorite actors, Brendan Fraser. And I started laughing. I was like, oh wait, you're being serious? Nobody likes Brendan Fraser this much.
I do.
And no disrespect to him. I'm sure he's a nice guy, whatever. But, nobody likes Brendan Fraser this much.
I do. Fuck you.
Nobody likes the Mummy trilogy this much.
Well, I don't say the trilogy. I like Mummy 1 and 2. I don't talk about number 3.
See, I wasn't even crazy about the second one. The first one's, good, but 3 is when it really...
The first one's a mess. No, I'm just playing. I won't lie. A part of me leans into the fact that I do lean into it a little more now as a joke. But
I mean, look, man.
I do genuinely enjoy Brendan Fraser, and it's just I'm happy that that he's back. He's getting back to work and shit. There's some life. There's some life in his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, the man's only 50 years old, but he does his face is a map of the world, that's for sure.
It aged him, bro.
It did age him in ways. It definitely did.
It aged him in ways.
He ain't George of the Jungle
stress,
anymore.
The anxiety of that spiteful bitch.
He's not George of the Jungle or Dudley Do-Right anymore. That's when you know, dude. That's when you know you like he just seems to me. I don't know. Just something about him reads stupid to me. Like he's typecast to be dumb or something like that. But I gotta give him credit because apparently he did a lot of his own stunts. He's gone through several surgeries.
Yeah.
Related to performing his own stunts in his action roles. He's had a partial knee replacement, a laminectomy, and vocal cord surgery. So, gotta give him credit for that, man. For what it's worth. Interesting man, Brendan Fraser.
I'm disappointed in you.
There was never going to be a good segue to bring up Brendan Fraser, Todd.
I'm disappointed. You know what? It's funny is I knew it was coming. When you started bringing this whole bullshit. There's nothing you admire to get you amped up and shit. I'm like, is this really how he's doing it?
Give me paint me a scenario. Paint me a fucking picture where there would have been a good way to bring Brendan Fraser into the conversation.
We could have had a topic at the end of the show about actors.
We don't talk about actors. This is a fucking video game podcast.
I know.
At one point it wasn't, but now it is. So when, Todd? When Brendan Fraser doesn't do video games. He hardly does anything at all.
Holding back my tongue.
I'm looking at, you know what? Let me see if Brendan Fraser has literally ever done a video game.
No, he's never.
I don't think he has. So. He has done some movies. Would you be starstruck if you met Brendan Fraser? Would that be the person that would actually make you feel starstruck?
I would be pretty excited.
Would you?
Yeah.
So you're not the type of person like me. I like to get autographs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not a collector like that. I don't really give a shit.
You're not really a collector like that. Would that be the kind of person where you would love to have Brendan Fraser's autograph?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting an autograph. Why the hell not?
Get a picture with your boy.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any...
Two dead inside individuals.
I'm not seeing any... Oh, you know what? He did do the voice of Rick O'Connell in the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor video game. And he did Professor Trevor Anderson in the video game adaptation of Adventure at the Center of the Earth. So you know what? Yeah, you know what? Let me redo that intro and I'll just be like, hey, Todd, remember the Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor video game? You know who was in that? Brendan Fraser. There's your segue.
Terrible.
You can't give me shit.
I'm still disappointed.
Oh, Todd. Brendan Fraser aside, Todd, we are still existing in this world where there's not much going on, post E3 world, not much in the way of video game news, not much happening in the video game world. So let's just let's just do what we do. We're surviving out here. It's the wilderness. I feel like we're in the fucking wilderness out here, just surviving together. We've built an igloo. We've constructed.
I didn't build shit. No.
We've constructed defenses, and we're just kind of like, keeping ourselves warm from the harsh, unforgiving cold, with no news really to speak of. So let's start this podcast, Todd.
I have news.
Oh yeah, you pregnant?
I bring news of the Monster Hunter variety.
Oh Lord, I was just about to ask you, Todd. What have you been playing this week?
Oh, let's get right into it. It's Monster Hunter talk time.
Oh God damn it!
You sweet boy, you know it's going to be coming hard.
I know.
When Iceborne actually comes out.
I know. I feel like
son of a bitch. You poor bastard.
I feel like it's the sort of thing that I need to actually get a musical stinger for.
Just fucking have like the Astera theme or some shit.
It may as well be a fucking segment at this point.
It is. So yeah. So the beta for Iceborne came out it was this last weekend, and it's actually going to be, at the time of this recording, it's going to be going on. It might actually start today, actually, I think.
Yeah, by the time you hear this, yeah.
Yeah, so the second round of the beta will be starting today at the time of this recording. And I played the round one, which was on, what day was that on? Like the 20th? Some shit like that?
23rd?
21st to the 23rd or something like that, yeah. And, you end up going through, I originally wasn't going to jump on it because I was like, I really want to stay pretty blind to Iceborne and just enjoy it as it is. I ended up jumping on just because I wanted to try out the new mechanics for all the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very happy with it. Very, very happy. So good. So I after all I actually ended up testing like about every single weapon, and I still found myself drawn to the Charge Blade, Switch Axe, and Greatsword. And they all do very interesting things. I mean, it's not like anything like super new, but obviously going into Iceborne, the main draw now is everyone can use their slinger with your weapon equipped,
right?
Which is awesome. That's actually how the combat is focused now. The combat is actually focused towards this whole. There's the clutch claw where you can grapple onto monsters and like do like certain certain weapon specific attacks and like weaken parts of the monster and do even more damage, which is a whole new thing now. It's like everybody has to like play that part, But yeah, so jumping into the beta was you have three quests. It was like number one was for beginners, fighting Big Mouth Boy, Snaky Boy, are the one true Great Jagras. Whoop his ass, basically.
So is this a like new version of the Great Jagras, or
no?
Just dead ass the Great Jagras.
Just dead ass like here, fucking fight Jaggers with some of the new mechanics, basically.
I see.
And the second mission is for like what do they say? I think it was like intermediate, basically medium difficulty. And it was one of the new monsters, Reindeer Boy. I remember how to pronounce his name. Some of it was a B, Bonabaro or some shit.
Oopa
Doopa. But yeah, he's a fun fight. Very, very fun fight. I think I actually used the Switch Axe against him. So like the first one I was trying to with Jagras, I tried out the Charge Blade. Fell in love with the Charge Blade all over again. I love the new a powered up axe form going on. All that new mechanic, the clutch claw, it's all good. Then with that one, I switched off to Switch Axe. Really, really love the way the Switch Axe plays. Like the main new move with Switch Axe is you actually can power up the axe form now in Switch Axe, and which is actually awesome because the whole problem I think with Switch Axe in most of these games is it's really just the best way to look at the axe form is just a stopgap until you can actually go back into sword form. But now I think axe has way more way more versatility with the fact that like I'm gonna probably end up using. Personally, I don't know. There's probably people that are like, oh, sword mode all the way. I probably switch between it. Like I'll probably use like half, like 50-50,
Right.
Because the way that with the powered up axe form is when the axe is powered up, it does more stun damage. So you can probably sit there and beat the dog shit out of like you probably go hammer mode on these motherfuckers like with it and like stun the shit out of them. So I'm excited. There's a lot of cool shit. And the third one is for experts. I honestly could have soloed this, but I was just kind of like, I didn't really care to. So I ended up actually jumping into the multiplayer with this.
Was it a different monster?
Yeah, the expert quest is the new one. It's not new; it's a returning monster from the old games. Tigrix,
Okay.
Tigrix or whatever. He's pretty cool looking. Like got like a T-Rex ass face, and he's like a. I'm trying the best way to like describe what he looks like. You've seen him in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't run into his whole deal where like apparently when he roars it'll kill you. I didn't run into that at all. I know it's a thing. Didn't run into it. And I'll say this. Good God, Lord knows it was a good thing they gave us 8 carts, because holy shit, these other motherfuckers died like 4 times. I'm just watching them. I'm like, oh, you sucky bastards. That is my main issue with Monster Hunter World, especially for like I don't want to sound like I'm like the fucking greatest like Monster Hunter World player in the world, but I don't die like that. Like those are like it's just holy shit. People be carting left and right.
Think people get just like a little too greedy, or they're just a little too stupid about it?
You know what it is? Sometimes it might just be down to builds.
Right.
Because here's the thing with me. My least favorite thing in that game, status-wise, is stun. I stun resistance all day. I ain't getting stunned. Fuck that shit. And even then, I'm saying that, but even I was forced to use the shit builds that the beta gave.
Right. Yeah, that's true too, because they of course were going to let you use your own character.
Yeah, I didn't say that. So yeah, the whole thing with the Iceborne beta, it's its own client. You got to download it because it is basically the aspects of the game that are obviously they're not going to just update the fucking base game,
right?
Because I mean, Iceborne is just a thing. Like they'd have to patch in all the mechanics and whatnot. They're not doing that.
No.
It's like if you played the original beta, like for Monster Hunter World, which you and I actually did.
Yes.
God, it feels like so long ago.
I mean, it was. The game's been out for over a year now. Shit.
And I still play it. Overall, though, it was I had a lot of fun playing. That's another thing. I can backtrack. I originally was like, I'll just do the Jagras mission, and then as I finished the Jagras mission, it's like, oh, here's a pack of shit that you can get in the base game. I'm like, fuck.
Well, originally, I think you were like, I don't even know if I want to play this beta at all.
Yeah. I originally wasn't going to, and I said that earlier on.
Yeah.
I wasn't really originally going to touch it. Then I kind of like, I gave it an inch, and it took a mile.
Yeah. I know, are you going to jump back in this weekend to see if anything's different?
I am going to jump on to see if they add like a new quest.
Right.
Because they did that actually, I think, with the original beta. They added like Nergigante, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I'm wondering if they're going to add Velkhana, which would be weird. Or if not Velkhana, maybe like another one of the newer monsters, like the one we haven't really seen yet, but we know is in the game.
Just give you some more of a taste.
Yeah, either way, like I'm excited because I'm not gonna like jump on and just do the same 3 missions. I don't give a shit about that. But if it's something new, I'll obviously jump on and I'll probably report on it like next week.
Now, let me ask you this: Did they in these missions? Do they actually send you to the new environment?
Yeah.
Cool.
You're actually in the new environment.
Nice.
Yeah, you have to actually drink the hot drinks and all that.
Okay.
It's funny as I actually didn't test it. I should have not drank in the hot drink to see what the environment actually does to you.
Yeah.
But it seems stamina based.
Okay.
Because there was like a glowing thing with the stamina before I drank the hot drink. So it does seem like it'd be something stamina based. I don't know, like the
so it seems
deal.
Like you either have to like always be drinking hot drink or have the proper gear.
The hot drink lasts actually a good amount of time.
Yeah.
But you'll probably have to like if and most of the time these quests, like the hunts, really don't go on for that long. So you probably only really have to ever drink like one hot drink.
Yeah.
And it seems like they'll be pretty easy to actually craft. I think you just like dead ass find shit in the icy area that you can craft it with.
Okay.
And also, again, we can probably just meld it.
So that's easy enough.
With the melder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be like this crazy difficult thing. It's just, all I know is, God, September's going to fuck my life up.
Yeah, it really is.
Borderlands 3, Iceborne.
1 week after another, bitch.
Fuck.
See, I've got the same issue because I have Borderlands 3, and then the following week is Link's Awakening. So
it's funny is like I had a slight interest in that game until it said September, and I think you even said it, you're like, oh, he's not playing that shit.
as soon as I saw the September date, I was like, well, Todd's not playing that.
Yep, it's lost because like it's only 2 games, but these are 2 massive games for me.
Well, and then like on top of that too, I really, really, really want to play Dragon Quest XI when it comes to Switch. And that comes out. So basically it would be Borderlands 1 week, it would be Zelda the next week, and then Dragon Quest the next week.
Yeah, that's fucking... you can't... What can you really do?
Yeah.
Like, it's like... Because, again, Borderlands 3 and Iceborne, those are going to be games I'm playing up until probably next gen.
Right.
Dead ass.
And Borderlands for sure, especially if they keep like the DLC rolling with it and stuff. I mean, it's...
Oh, shit. It's over with. It's over with, dude.
So... It sucks. I do really want to play Dragon Quest XI, though. I want to give that game a shot.
So I'm trying to think what else I've been playing. Obviously, I've been playing more Diablo.
Hey, you got your amiibo in the mail.
Oh, yes. Which I will be doing a vault run after this.
Got your first amiibo, Todd. How does it feel?
Yeah, the only amiibo I'll ever get.
Got that
it's
Loot
like,
Goblin.
you did. It's like you said something last night. It's like, now you have to get them all. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I was joking, but I was like, and now
I'm too far gone at that. But even then, I don't care enough. I would like, because again, like I'm not that sort of person. I'm not like a collector like that.
Right.
But this one genuinely had a use that that I wanted to like take advantage of, because I'm sitting there playing Diablo. I'm like, let me in.
Yeah, it is definitely one of the better amiibos. Like that and Breath of the Wild are probably honestly the 2 best uses of amiibo. Yeah. Like period.
May not be the best looking amiibo.
No, it's actually really lazy what they've done with it, because all they did was they took, so Blizzard has that like Cute But Deadly series basically of the little vinyls, and literally all they did was repaint one of them. And then they're like, "Oh, it's the Loot Goblin amiibo. Here you go." That's all it is.
That's pretty fucking lazy.
But hey, it allows you to access the vault once a day. So
yeah, I've been shit. You already know I've been like obsessed with Diablo lately.
Yes, and this is just gonna make it worse.
Well, this we can both talk on, because I think we've both been playing this. I do plan on playing more, and I'll probably be able to talk about it a little more next week. I actually bought Xenoblade 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I've been playing the shit out of this game.
I know, you've been playing the shit out of it, so that's why I was like, you can jump in on this. Because, like, I started it up, I've gotten basically past the tutorial. I played, like, maybe for, like, hour and a half, if that. And because the main thing you were talking to me about is like, oh, yeah, if you can get past the combat at the beginning, I'm like, combat's fine. Like, I genuinely had no issue with the combat.
I didn't know how you're going to feel about it, because I talked about this on the show when I first played it. But it's like, I mean, it's kind of turn-based and kind of not. It's like active time battle.
Yeah, it is active time, but it's just the way that it plays, because it's like you're always doing the auto attacks, and you jump into like the skills or whatever.
Yeah, you have like the blade arts, which
the blade arts, and then obviously those have like, as you strike, like with the auto attacks, those get back up and then go on cooldown.
And then as you strike with the blade arts, your special attack builds. So it gets way, 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 way deeper than that as you progress. And
obviously, that's something I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. But overall, I'm having fun with the game. Lord knows, the moment you told me about that Japanese voice acting, I downloaded it.
Yeah. Well, you were asking me. You're like, hey, like I'm looking for a game on the Switch. I'm looking for something like big and meaty to play or whatever. And I recommended Xenoblade but I didn't know how you were going to feel about the combat. I mean, the fact that you already like it is a good sign because it just gets better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, because the way you were describing, you're like, oh, it's really not. It's like kind of, but as soon as I like kind of jumped on, and I was like, oh, it's not bad. It's like, as soon as I said it to myself, I'm like, oh, if this gets better than it is right now, who gives a shit?
Yeah, when you get to the point where you can engage like 3 different blades of different types, and it really becomes like a really nice level of like strategy and skill.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting further into the game.
Game's massive.
It is definitely, it's weeby as fuck, which I enjoy.
It is very anime.
Shit, this is me. I love that shit.
Yeah, it is very.
I love that. I love like how cheesy that sort of shit gets.
Oh, it definitely scratches a certain cheesy weeb itch for sure.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's very good.
And I'll say this, like, I just gotta, and I said this when I first played the game, but the music is so good. Like, I've played the game a bunch this week. I'm at my in-game counter is up to like 30 hours now. And I'm still only on like chapter 4.
How many chapters are in the game?
I think there are 10 chapters in the game.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and I'm only on chapter 4. Granted, from what I've read, the first 4 chapters are the longest, and like there are people who are like, "Don't be shocked if you are 45 hours in and you're still on chapter 4." Like there are people who are like, chapters 1 through 4 could have been their own fucking game. So,
damn.
So I'm kind of doing that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm about 30 hours in, and just every time I go to a new location or I hear a new piece of music, I'm just blown away by this game's soundtrack. I mean, it is so good. And I mean,
see, that's another thing. I'm also a big fan of like soundtracks in video games, so I am looking forward to hearing more of the music.
It is
in the beginning. I've enjoyed what I've been hearing.
It is up
like,
there, man.
The first hour,
like it is up there.
Yeah.
Like Yasunori Mitsuda is one of my favorite video game composers. He's done all of the Xeno games, like the entire Xeno series, but also like famously Chrono Trigger, which is like one of the best soundtracks of all time. And like just phenomenal, just a phenomenal soundtrack, and it's up there. Like honestly, it's one of my favorite like video game soundtracks. It's that good. I love it. I keep getting like consistently blown away to the point where like normally with a game like this, I would refer to it as a podcast game, right? Where I would just kind of turn my brain off, listen to a podcast, and play it, right? The music is so good that I refuse to do anything else while playing it. Like, I have to listen to the music at full volume. I can't have a podcast like drowning it out. I'll talk to you or whatever while I play it, but other than that, I'm not gonna like have anything else diverting my attention away from the music. It's that good. Mm-hmm. And then the story and the world is interesting, and I think the game looks pretty good. Like, I really like its kind of like not quite cel-shaded, cartoony anime art style. It's just a really, really good game. Like I'm very impressed with it. I've been playing it more and more lately, and it's kind of become my main game this week. Anything else you've been playing?
I think that's all I really have been playing, honestly.
I'm looking forward to. I know you've been kind of waiting on your days off to play more, so I'm looking forward to you getting deeper into that game. I've been just in this like JRPG mood. Like, I talked about Dragon Quest XI earlier. I really want to get into that. There was actually... This isn't a JRPG, but it is kind of a Japanese game. Are you familiar with the Wonder Boy / Monster Boy series?
I have recently... I swear to God, I feel like I watched somebody play that on like SGD.
Did you watch that last night?
I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, so that was... So, yeah, that run that I watched last night, I just happened to see it like as I was going to sleep, and I was fucking enthralled by this run. It was a really, like, the game looks awesome. I was like, why have I never played this before? This is right up my alley. So I'm, like, looking into it, and I'm like, I think I'm going to, like, pick this game up and try it. Because it looks really good. Like, yeah, so for those that don't know, SGDQ is going on this week. And that's a speedrunning marathon for charity. And one of my favorite things about the GDQ events is, like, the sense of discovery. Like, I'll just turn on the GDQ stream, and I'll just see a game like Monster Boy, where I'm like, fuck, man. That looks really, really goddamn good. So that's on my radar. I think I'm going to pick that up here pretty soon and play that. I don't know. I'm in this kind of like Japanese video game headspace right now where I just want to play a bunch of this shit. And I've always wanted to give Dragon Quest a try, so I kind of want to try out Dragon Quest 11 when it comes to Switch later this year. But yeah, the only other thing that I've really been playing, and this has been kind of sporadic for me, Xenoblade is the main thing, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but Crash Team Racing came out this week, and I picked that up, and my wife and I have played that, both in multiplayer, kind of like racing against each other, and she's kind of played more than I have in terms of like the single player content. I don't know what to say, it's really good. Crash Team Racing is like one of the best kart racers ever. It took me a little while to get used to it, like the mechanics, like the drifting mechanics and stuff like that, but I really like it. It's really good. Mm-hmm. If you are in the market for a good kart racer, it's one of the better ones that I can point to. One thing that I really like that they've done with this game is they've added, there is such an insane amount of tracks in this game, and they've worked in like everything from Crash Team Racing and Crash Nitro Kart and Nitro Fueled and all that shit. They've added it all in here. And the game looks beautiful. It runs great on a PS4. And they've added a bunch of there's like this in-game shop now, not microtransactions. You buy it with the currency you earn in-game. There's no way to spend real money on this game. But there is now an in-game shop where you can buy like skins and carts and stuff like that. It's really cool. Like, it just feels like a really modern, updated version of Crash Team Racing, and I highly recommend it. We've been having a lot of fun with it. Something that my wife and I both... She's a big Crash Bandicoot fan. She loves Crash Team Racing, so... Just nice. Nice to see these games getting remastered, these classic PlayStation franchises. And to that end, Todd, that's actually a wonderful segue into the first and only bit of news that I have for us this week. So I don't know if you saw this, but is it possible, Todd, that a new Ape Escape game is on the way?
Oh, Lord.
Are you familiar with Ape Escape?
Is it I feel like I know what Ape Escape is. Is it the one with they got the weird shit on their heads?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I remember those games.
Yeah, so the classic PlayStation franchise, there have been some suspicious tweets that may suggest that Ape Escape is coming back. So a new Twitter account was created called @Piposaru20th. And Piposaru is what the Ape Escape series is called in Japan. And with the first game releasing in 99, 2019 is indeed its 20th anniversary. So, and people have kind of made actually a fairly big deal about Ape Escape's 20th anniversary. Like, Kojima was tweeting about it. Fangamer released a little Ape Escape line for its 20th anniversary. And I'm like, wow, people are talking about Ape Escape. And the account tweeted out a picture of one of the apes from the game peeking from behind a tree, and they accompanied the picture with the caption, quote, 20 years since then, I've been running around, but I wonder if anyone's chasing me anymore, end quote. So, normally this kind of thing would be seen as something like a fake Twitter account to tease fans or something, but the verified Twitter account of Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan follows them, so I'm assuming that this Twitter account has got some merit. So I'm wondering, could we be looking at a new entry in the Ape Escape series, or possibly like a remake of the original in the same vein as like Crash Team Racing that I was just talking about? We've had Crash remakes, we've had Spyro remakes, CTR, we've got Medieval coming out in October.
It's fucking nothing but remakes.
Could Ape Escape be next? Sony seems to be interested in remaking a lot of their classic PlayStation franchises. We had a remaster of Parappa the Rapper. Sony is kind of like, it's almost like a weird olive branch of like, hey, like you can't play your PS1 games on your PS4, but we'll remaster them or we'll remake them. So it's got me curious. Like, I wonder if Ape Escape could be making a little bit of a resurgence. Now, to be fair, I'm not some huge Ape Escape fan or anything like that. My friend Justin had it on his PS1 whenever whenever we were growing up, but that's about it. The last Ape Escape game released in 2011, and it was a PlayStation Move game. So,
Was that a fucking thing? My God.
So that just goes to show you what's going on with the Ape Escape franchise.
Nothing.
But indeed, the first one, PS1 game, May 1999 is when that came out. So 20 years of Ape Escape. I remember enjoying it. It doesn't hold some like special place in my heart, but
That's the thing. I remember playing them.
Yeah. But I liked it. I remember liking it. It's definitely, the apes are definitely like recognizable. Like the design is definitely recognizable. So, yeah, I respect the people that are big fans of it. It'd be cool to see them remake that.
I'm trying to remember what the fucking gameplay was like.
I mean, don't you just like go around capturing some fucking apes?
Was that it? I don't remember it, bro. Like I remember playing, but again, that's in the times of old.
Right.
The dark times. The Todd in the middle times.
Yeah, I mean it's just you go around capturing some damn apes, I think. That's what I remember.
I mean, I guess it was memorable enough for me to know that I played it.
Now, one thing that I do remember is that the gameplay was like, and this was so funny to me because they put, if I'm not mistaken, I think they actually put the first Ape Escape on the PlayStation Classic. And I remember this was the first game that actually kind of like required the use of the DualShock. So like, I don't understand how you can play that game without the analog sticks. And the PlayStation Classic does not have the analog sticks on it. So, I don't know. Interesting, though. It has a legacy, Todd. It definitely has a legacy. You got to give it credit where credit is due. Ape Escape has got its footprint in PlayStation history.
Well, here's the thing. I'm reading some shit.
Uh-huh.
So, in the PSP spinoffs, a more conventional control scheme must be used due to the lack of a right analog stick.
Right. So you think they just kind of adapted that?
They probably just had to adapt the bullshit.
I see. Well, I never bought a PlayStation Classic and have no intention to. So
never will. I don't. The only reason classics are like near me is because my dad's like buys all that shit.
I love the way Nintendo's been handling them. I actually the Sega Genesis Mini coming out looks really cool, but I don't know if that's something.
Give me a Dreamcast classic.
That wouldn't shock me.
Bro, I'd buy that one.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, for me, like I really like the SNES and the NES classics and everything.
Yeah.
But like they just drop the ball so heavily. I mean, you go and you try to find a PlayStation Classic now, they pay you to take the motherfucker.
I swear, dude. It's just the games on there are just weak.
It's a weak game list. It came out overpriced. It's like bad emulation of the games. It's not good. Literally, I could go on Amazon right now and buy a PlayStation Classic for $30.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of sad. Anyway, I'm not here to drag PlayStation Classic. I just wanted to shout out that little bit of news because it seems like Ape Escape might be getting a little bit of love. Nothing officially announced yet, but tip your hat at least to the legacy of Ape Escape, and it would be cool. I'll tell you what, if they did remake the first one and give it a new coat of paint, I'd check it out.
And why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, I'd check it out. Revisit the game. It's probably been 15, 20 years since I played that game. So, anyway, Todd, I think we should pull something out of the vault this week as a survival tactic. And we were talking about some of the things we have in the vault, and one of the topics I've got here, the stories behind our usernames / gamer tags / online handle.
Listen, I don't think we've ever actually brought up our gamer tags and whatnot.
I don't think we have. So I've kind of gone by two aliases on the internet for a while now. Those are you'll either see me as $2 Hero or Winter Cereal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I know for you it's similar.
It's funny, yeah, because like I have two that I've gone by the longest. It's like Plain Toad and Smeeg.
Yeah. So why don't you start? What are the stories behind your aliases?
Well, the plain Toad is dead ass. Like, that is actually a nickname of when I was in high school and younger in middle school. Is Toad,
Right.
and that just kind of stuck, and I ended up making a gamer tag out of it.
Right.
Just plain. I'm just a dude. Plain Toad.
Now, was it one of the suggested ones?
No, I actually made that one.
Nice. Because that was how Jacob, our mutual friend Jacob, got his. I think his first one, Recalled Rabbit.
Yeah, it's good old Recalled Rabbit.
I think
that's actually when I met him.
Yeah, I think that was actually like one of the suggested gamer tags for him.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Now, what about Smeeg?
Now that's a little more of a story. It starts with The Hobbit.
The Peter Jackson Hobbit movie.
Yeah. So, when I was like, whenever I've read the name, the name of the dragon, I always said Smaug.
Right.
And I'm watching this fucking movie, and it's like Smaug. Like it is just like the fuck. And I was talking to our mutual friend Tyler about it, and it just fucking devolved into my dumb ass just going, "The motherfucker's name's Smeeg."
You took that and ran with it, huh?
Took it and ran with it. Ended up, the first time I actually used it was actually we were playing EverQuest. Yeah, that was a thing. We were playing EverQuest 2, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I made I don't remember the fucking class I was playing, but his name was, I remember the full name because it was just so fucking stupid. Sloon Nabil Smeeg.
What? Sloonable Smeeg?
Sloon Nabil Smeeg.
I see.
And I would, as I was like fighting shit in that game, I would fucking scream it.
What, screams the whole name?
Yes.
Nice.
And there was actually a thing like you can get like wings in that game, and I was like, God, I need those wings so I could fucking descend on motherfuckers.
I love any game that gives me wings because I love that Brutal Legend quote whenever you're playing.
Silence, ground.
Yeah, whenever you're playing and you're flying in the air in the RTS element or whatever. Silence, Groundwalker.
So good.
Yeah, my handles don't really have, to be honest, every title that I come up with for anything,
just bullshit, random bullshit.
Really has no meaning. Yeah, I'll just think of something, usually in the shower, and I'll just kind of run to Google. If I like it, I'll run to Google and see if it's been taken. And if it hasn't, I just use it. I wish I had a sexier story. I wish I had a better story, but $2 Hero, I literally just thought of it. I think I was maybe writing a song or something like that. And I was thinking of titles maybe, and I thought of $2 Hero, and I found nothing like that. And it was one of those things where I was like, wow, I'm surprised that's not taken by somebody. And ever since, $2 Hero has kind of been my main tag. When I make an account somewhere, it's usually $2 Hero.
Do you plan on changing your PSN name?
Oh, no. No, there's such a mess involved with that shit.
That's what I hear. I hear it's pretty fucking janky.
Well, it's so convoluted because they fuck themselves with the way they set up the infrastructure for the naming conventions on PlayStation, where there's kind of a fine print where it's you may lose some of your trophy data or your leaderboard data and shit like that if you change your name, because the servers don't recognize that you've changed your name. So you might literally change your name and lose trophies and shit. I'm nah, I'm good. Winter Cereal was another situation like that, where it was just kind of I just kind of thought up the Winter Cereal for no reason. I just liked the way it sounded, and it just kind of stuck. I don't know why it stuck, but it just kind of did. And now Winter Cereal is another one of my handles.
Yeah.
And
there was one more.
Now, there was one more.
The original.
And that came from...
This is when we first started playing online together.
Yeah, so my very first Xbox Live tag was Evolus. Or really even going back, if you go back to the original Xbox, it was even worse. And that was when I was a cringy teenager. It was even worse. But Evolus was my first D&D character's name. So when I made my first Xbox 360 like Xbox Live account, I named it Evolus. And that again kind of came from nowhere. It was EVALICE. And then I realized years later that it didn't come from nowhere. Because deep in my brain, so the world in which Final Fantasy IX and Tactics and I think even 14 takes place is Ivalice.
Oh, Lord.
It's literally spelled the exact same way, just with an I, except for like an I instead of an E.
That's hilarious.
So,
you know what? It's funny. I think you did tell me that. I forgot about it.
So that's where just that somehow got burrowed in my brain, and when it came time to name a D&D character, I was like, oh, Evolus, that's such a cool name. That just came from nowhere. So I
pulled that out of my ass.
Yeah. So and then like fucking like 10 years later, I'm like, oh, wait.
It's not.
My original, when I was a cringy teenager and I was playing like Halo 2 on Xbox Live, my gamer tag there was Darth Cupcake.
That's just fucking lame.
Yeah. Well, that was the kind of humor that
How do you... Well, then again, Mr. Waffles.
Yeah, when you're like a cringy teenager and you just like, it's the random humor,
Oh, shit. I did have other gamer tags, though.
Yeah?
Fuck. I've had dumb ones like that.
Well, again, it's just when you're a dumb teenager. Like
I think was Odd Muffin one of them?
Maybe.
Odd Muffin, yeah. That was me being dumb. And then there was a time when we was doing clan shit. Like I changed my thing to OMG a UFO to match my.
Right.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
To match Ronald's OMG a unicorn.
I do remember that now.
That's when that was Black Ops 1, I think.
I mean, you're talking about when Halo 2 came out, I was probably like 15 or something like that. And like dead ass, like that was just the height of like my cringy, like, oh, so random. I watch Jackass and drink Monster and Mountain Dew all day. Lord. So it was that sort of thing.
I mean, the main ones that have like stories around again is like the main two that I like popped in my mind from the get-go. And so we're actually get here talking, and I remember, oh yeah, I had a couple other ones.
So my whole Halo 2 clan, it was me, my friend, who I haven't talked to in fucking years, but I had a really good friend who was who always threw Halo 2 LAN parties. His name was Tyler. He threw really big Halo 2 LAN parties all the time, and we actually got really into like the clan kind of scene and like competitive Halo 2.
Bro, it's funny is like because you talk about it with Halo 2, like when you got into the whole clan thing.
Yeah,
it was Call of Duty 4 for me,
dude. Like to me, when I think of like multiplayer shooters, the golden age of them for me was Halo 2.
It is honestly, it's just like that couple years,
Yeah,
where like it is really that generational thing. Because that's when I really jumped into shooters. Was like when I was like, I mean, obviously did I play like Halo 2? Yeah, but I didn't really fuck with it online.
Well, it's just funny because, I mean, you think about it, like, I'm 3 years older than you, and that does not sound like a lot, but, like, when you think about it, that's the difference between, like, me being behind the wheel and driving and you being, like, 11, 12 years old.
Yeah. And that's... It's enough to affect, like, because, again, I jumped fully on into the online scene with Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4 was, I think, like really first dive into like online gaming. Got really into the whole like competitive like the whole game battle shit. I don't know if you remember that whole thing.
Yeah, see, I was already like by the time 2007 rolled around with like COD 4 and stuff, I was already kind of like I still played multiplayer games, but I was already kind of in the mode where I'm at now, where I was more of a single player gamer. Yeah,
more of where I'm at now. Like,
yeah, and I still.
I think I've been in this zone for years at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna be a teenage cyborg again. But
do I remember it? Does the beast rattle the cage occasionally? If I ever do play a shooter, a little bit.
But those were really. I mean, I think back to those days with a certain fondness for sure.
Oh, of course. Like, because I still think about like how fucking like how much of a teenage cyborg I really was. Like, it was disgusting.
There was something about like, especially with Halo specifically. There was when Halo came out, and this really comes back to why Halo is such a like special franchise. Like, that game fucking changed everything for me and my friend group. Like, for sure. No longer was it, hey, let's play Pokemon cards or let's play, GoldenEye or whatever. It wasn't even a question. Like, if you were staying the night at a friend's house, you may as well have just been playing Halo the entire time. My friend Tyler, he would throw these, like, huge LAN parties, and there would be, like, pizza and, like, soda and shit, and we would just stay up all night. So fun. Like, I have such fond memories of that.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sucks, because that's kind of lost now.
It really is.
The internet ruins everything. It just does.
Always does.
Anyway, that actually went further than I thought. That little topic there.
It became like multiple tangents.
But that was my Halo 2 clan. We were all it was like the Dark Side clan, and it was Darth something. Everybody
that's lame, bro.
Uh-huh.
Because I remember, like, it's funny as I remember the first clan I was in. It was KHA. I don't that's the acronym. I don't actually remember what it stood for. I think it was Naruto related, bro.
Probably
was. And that was like it was like me. It was actually like a bunch of like, cause it was me and one of my old friends, this guy named Brandon, and I think it was him and a couple of his friends, and then they were the whole that was the whole thing. And then I remember jumping into a clan with like all those like I think it was with like I don't know if Tyler was probably in this clan. It was EXM. It was Tyler and all like the remember that little like where did I ever tell the story? Oh, it's whatever. It's where I ended up like meeting Tyler in person.
Yeah,
because we first met each other online. Is all the little like that church, all that little church group basically.
Right.
It was like I think it was a solid like five to six of us, I think.
Right.
Did that. God, I missed that whole thing.
Yeah, like I just miss
part
those
of me
days.
misses that whole like competitive clan shit.
Yeah, sometimes I do. So, well, I tell you, I don't miss the actual like playing of competitive games, but I do miss the sense of community.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Like, I miss the sense of like just communally playing game, and we get like fringes of that every now and then. Like when it used to be, when like you, me, my wife, Dan, and Jacob, like we all grouped up and just played like Overwatch.
Yeah, when the boys get together.
Yeah, you sort of get like touches of that every now and then.
But it is kind of lost nowadays. Obviously everybody's older.
Well, everybody's older, and the internet's a thing now, so you just play online and stuff, and
yep.
People live far away and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a bummer.
Let's end it on a sad note.
Well, yeah. It's like you ever see that meme where it's like one day you and your friends jumped off Halo 3 for the last time.
Well, that's in any game. It's like one time you just like you stop playing a game for the last time, you didn't even realize it.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Oof.
It's kind of sad. I do miss those days. I look back on those days.
Then you jump back on. It's like last online, like fucking 10 years ago.
I don't even want to know when the last time I played some of those games were. It's funny though, because I had so much of like my identity tied down to like my Xbox gamer tag for sure.
Yeah.
And like now, like I haven't been an Xbox owner in so many years. When I finally get an Xbox again, I'm like kind of curious. What's that going to be like?
Well, it's funny is bring this back. I actually thought I would never actually have plain Toad ever again.
Yeah.
Because I lost. I thought for some reason I thought I lost all access to that account.
Right.
So I've been using Smeeg for a lot of the times. I even have a Smeeg like Xbox Live account, but I no longer use that anymore because I didn't really do much I didn't really do anything with it.
Right.
For the most part. So for some reason I just randomly decided to try again to get into my plain Toad account, and I did, and I was like, holy shit!
It happened to work.
And part of me is like, it's like, because I have a connection to that. Like, obviously, there's like I have so many fond memories with that account, and like just when I was younger.
Yeah, I'm sad now, Todd. Yeah. Thanks.
I know. I think we started this podcast with high energy. Now we got low energy because we're depressed.
That's all right. That's all right, Todd. I don't mind. It was a nice trip down memory lane, if nothing else.
It was. I enjoyed this.
Anyway, I think that's probably going to do it for us, unless you want to add anything else.
Brendan Fraser is the best actor of all time. I'm talking shit.
Viva la Brendan Fraser. Thanks for listening, guys. We will catch you next week. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.